Dankwa runs the global info analytics.
Man is trending
The
this
showman.
morning.
The showman. Hey,
Good morning.
the video be our kita back.
Good morning.
I hope you can hear us clearly.
Yes, I can hear you very clearly.
Yes, it's nice to have you on the line. Somebody was asking why the white shirt on Saturday evening, in the night.
Oh, it was a gift. It was a gift I received last week. I decided to wear it.
A gift?
Yes.
Wow. Does it have anything to do with your work? The gift that was sent to you?
No, it was given to me as a former board member of Margins Group.
Oh, okay. So you just decided to wear white.
Yes.
It is not because something has happened and you were trying to.
Oh no.
But boss, at a point when you posted a picture, you said that you were just passing by. Where were you going?
I was passing by the MPP head office.
But I'm wondering, were there any surprises for you looking at the results that came out?
You know, there's always early warning signs in data. If you miss it, then you can't see what happened. Clearly, I missed something. Maybe I couldn't give the right interpretation to it. And that, we say it in three, a paminati. And that was Brian's performance in Volta region in particular. In Volta region, about 32% of the delegates were not disclosing. They were all Brian people. That's on the regional level. But nationally, we saw that Ken was collapsing. And I made mention of that in that week when we released the poll. That Ken has thrown a grenade in his campaign. But the statement he made about the vice president, that didn't go down well with the delegates. And I said, when you are cruising to the finish line, you don't need this kind of publicity. And in our model, we assume that undecided voters will behave rationally because nothing will change the race. But when you throw a bomb in the race, it's no longer normal race. Those who were undecided, nobody in his real sense who is undecided looking to decide will be influenced to go for Ken after hearing that video. He's undecided. He's trying to make a decision. Instead of giving him the reason to vote for you, you gave them a reason not to vote for you. But they didn't find Baumia as the whole. Because remember I mentioned that Ken and Brian were trading votes. So when they left Kennedy, they went to Brian in droves. So if you look at the polling data, Brian performed 2.5% better than the predictions we gave within the margin of error. And Kennedy performed 1.5% worse than the margin of error. And Baumia was bang on point.
Would you attribute the shift towards Brian to the behavior in the Volta region?
No, Volta region is just more number. It wouldn't have changed the entire number like that. It was national phenomena. In the central region where Ken was supposed to sweep the place, he didn't come. So when I saw the results of the central region coming, I knew Ken was in trouble. And the Eastern region reinforced what we knew in the race that Brian was going to do very well there. And Ashanti region too didn't disappoint. They didn't opt for Ken. They were opting for Brian. So Brian took numbers from Baumia, but he took a lot more from Kennedy because they share the same constituency, which is account based. And even in the northern region, Brian was showing up. I mean, this result is an emphatic statement that the MPP delegates don't like Ken's style. And that closes the chapter for him.
The MPP delegates don't like Ken's style?
No.
Did you say that closes the chapter for him?
Oh, not so. I mean, effectively, Brian is what they look at as an alternative to Baumia, even though he fell short by 5%. But the numbers are telling. He's much younger, much energetic. You see, on all the issues Ken was deemed to have advantage over, he has resources, he has money, Brian who has money. He has companies, Brian who has companies. Grassroots, Brian who was the grassroots. Hey, Brian is younger, Ken is older. Brian is outspoken, not rough. So he's a refined version of Ken in terms of outspokenness. So he has advantage over Ken on this matter. And I think that is where the MPP guys think that he was better than Ken. Just that he fell short by some 5%.
Can you
He
not?
could have placed second. What we saw was really shocking.
Can it not also be, because you talked about the demographics of the MPP delegates, and can it not also be said that because of those demographics, there's a tendency to be much more conservative, stick to what they know, that if you stick with him for like 2 or 3 times, Dr. Baumia is most likely you win the presidential election for us. Can that not be the reason perhaps Kennedy is not getting the traction he's getting? He needed to get.
No, I mean, people have expressed their views. But why didn't they all move towards Baumia? Yeah, you would have expected them to move heavily towards Baumia, but
Okay.
Baumia declined. So it is more than just who can win. They're also looking into the future. Beyond these people, who do we think may have the future for MPP? And if you don't give him that kind of support now, he may fade out. So this result for Brian is very emphatic. He will give me a seat at the high table, and the sky could be the limit for him.
I see. Very interesting. So, as far as you're concerned as a pollster, this is the end for Ken.
Look, about 70% of Ghanaians say they don't want people who are older as president. That ends the story.
People who are older.
And you know what they told us? How old?
Yeah,
They were even putting people who are around 65 as older.
65.
Yes.
70% of Ghanaians do not want people above 65.
Yes.
I see. That is for Brian Agyapong. But if you're also looking at the Baumia side, 56% of the votes, aside the Nanado Alan Chamantin contest, this is perhaps the worst a flag bearer has ever done.
It's not the worst.
Which one is?
The worst where you mentioned Nanado, 47%.
No, that's what I am saying. But that
how
contest didn't go into
many
second
of the
round.
candidates, you see, what did Kufuor do in the first attempt?
In the first attempt, he failed.
Yeah, so let's put things properly with data. You know, sometimes this, unless you said, okay, this is the percentage this person got, and you can see how many of them outperformed him, and how many of them did he outperform. Then you probably choose your words carefully.
But the point I was coming to is that, do you think this reflects badly on him? And that he may not have control of the entire party?
Done better. But remember, no two elections are the same. The variables are different. If you look at it from polling perspective, he has widened the margin of his winning. In 2023, his winning margin was 23% between him and Kennedy. Now the margin is 33%. So in polling, it's not about it's about the margin. What is the margin? On the margin level, he outperformed 2023.
So the assessment for you is the margin.
Sorry?
The assessment should be done based on the margin.
Yes. Because no election or no two elections are the same. And we tend to do that kind of comparison easily. The variables in every election are different.
But
You know,
okay.
we were thinking that, undisclosed, they failed the system, so they must vote for Kennedy. Did they vote for him? No. So you see how two elections are not the same. Was there anybody whipping them to vote for Baumia or Brian? No. Out of the 21 people, or perhaps were saying that they were not disclosing, none went to him from the data we have seen.
Was there any point in time when you started to doubt the
No.
data that you had put out? Because
No.
other people who had come out with the alternative that did not particularly agree with yours.
Look, we know what we have done. We know the effort we put in when we talk to delegates, and we know what we have done with evidence. I don't know what others did, but I know what I've done. That's why I stick to my data.
I see. Now let me conclude with this. You have also been trying to put any of the candidates against possible NDC flag bearers. Okay, so let's now take out Ken because Ken did not win, Brian did
Yes.
not win. So a focus on Dr. Baumia. When you did that, how well did he fare against any of them?
You know, this is in the December report, and people didn't read. And indeed, they say if you want the black man not to know something, put it in the book. I'm surprised that this is coming up now. It's always been there in the December report too. And we ask voters if Baumia is elected and he comes face to face with Agyapong, who would they vote for? And on that, Agyapong gets 58%, Baumia 38%. If you say, in case MDC elects Haruna Idris and he comes face to face with Baumia, who would you vote for? Haruna gets 56%, Baumia gets 40%. If you say, if Asyrin Idris is elected to lead NDC, who would you vote for? Asyrin Kitia, 53%, Baumia 43%. At the time, the top four was Deborah. If Deborah was the candidate against Baumia, who would you vote for? Deborah 50%, Baumia 46%. These were the views of Ghanaian voters in December. If elections were held at the time we spoke to them.
From your records, in terms of your understanding of how polling works, can this shift significantly if they pick any of those men within the next 2 years? If the NEC
There
picks
are
any
so
of those
many
men.
uncertainties and variables in the scenarios. Scenarios are not at all polling that would happen. When NDC picks their candidate, that's when we have a settled race that you can keep polling. Even that, when you poll over time, the numbers move up and down, depending upon what the people think about the country direction. If things are not going well, you don't expect the numbers to remain like that. It is not your ethnic group that you can't leave. People vote based on issues.
I see. Now, I said I was concluding on that note, but there's a question that has come up from my colleague Nancy, who wants me to ask you. There are many people who are saying Baumia should be pairing with any one of his contenders. If you were to base that on polling data and say, choose this person and choose that person, who would you go for?
Of course, the answer is obvious. Do I have to say it?
Please.
You know, if we've agreed that the style of Ken doesn't suit the delegate, it tells you that they may not even want him at deep. The emphatic statement we have here is Brian. He has the momentum, he has the numbers big enough to make statement. And if you look at how he's performing in voter rating, you might be thinking twice if you're going to base it on the data alone. But remember, appointing a vice goes just beyond the data.
Thank you. Thank you very much for speaking to us.
My pleasure.
Well, that's Mussa Dankwa. Mussa Dankwa is Executive Director, Global Infoanalytics, speaking to us. His predictions were, and he said he missed it, but I really don't think he did. Because based on the trajectory he showed us, I actually expected things to get worse for Kennedy Agyapong. Listening to Kennedy Agyapong, I think you could hear the frustration in his voice. Like he said, perhaps he knew. Because if you listen to someone who was trying to initially sound presidential, I remember I was urging him on to forget presidential and fire. He was trying to sound presidential, and then towards the end of the race, he just decided,